Whoa, I just heard someone break glass. Is everyone all right? Is there glass on the floor? What's going on? Why are you looking at me funny, bro? Now, my Call of Duty review was a little bit longer than I wanted it to be. Just a little bit, just a little bit. So I'm gonna kind of run through this. And also, I really don't think that there's a whole lot to FragPunk, if I'm being honest. But unlike my Black Ops 6 video where I said I was gonna talk about the cosmetics and I didn't, in FragPunk, it's kind of hard not to talk about the cosmetics. It's kind of hard not to notice the cosmetics in general because they are plastered right in front of your face as soon as you log on to the game. Now, I know most games nowadays are really pushing the microtransaction angle ever since, you know, Fortnite brought out the Battle Pass. It really feels like online casino-y. The way their cosmetic system is set up, it feels very similar to Genshin Impact. And I mean, actually it's similar to most gacha games or most JRPGs like that, where they do have a lottery in the game and you earn draws, I believe is what they're called, like every so often, like as you level up, and you can use them to go into this lottery for a chance to win the big special melee item, which I'm assuming it's not going to always be a melee item, but this is just the item or the grand prize that they have for this season, I guess I'll call it. I don't know. Also, let me preface this. FragPunk is a very new game. For me recording this video, FragPunk is literally only 20 days old. And like I said, everything looks very flashy and it's like bright, vibrant colors and like literal flashy animations on their currency. I feel like a lot of these games are slowly like bringing back like that whole like young gambling aspect. And like people were shitting on CSGO betting sites, the coin flip sites. People are like, oh yeah, but like it's encouraging underage gambling. What is this, dude? What is this? Is this not just the same thing? And the UI, not only for the shop, but just for like the game in general. I feel like the UI is very cluttered and there's really a lot to take in with this UI. And the way that they do their bundle advertising, it looks so good in the preview screen. And they have like custom animations too for their skins. And it just looks so much better in the shop than it actually does in-game. The skin customization is nice. However, I do wish that you were able to turn your gun and like move it around before you place the sticker, even just like an in-game view. I just want to see what it looks like to hold it in-game before I apply the sticker. Now, you can move the stickers around without scraping them, which is a very nice feature. It's so weird because the guns, when you're applying the stickers, it doesn't look like the gun has too many 3D aspects to it. But when you get in game, the guns in this game are, how do I say this? They're like deceptively 3D, where it's like certain parts where you don't think the gun's gonna pop out, it does pop out. And then your sticker is gonna look all fucked up because part of your dinosaur head is behind the rail and then the flame is like on the rail and then behind the rail. It looks weird. So like, if they just added a way to even just turn your gun, like you don't even have to add the whole like, oh, like inspect it in game aspect. Like as long as I can turn my gun while having the sticker there, then that would be nice. So this game's form of agents are called Lancers. The Lancer models, you know, they look cool, you know, everyone has a unique design and a unique look. Some of the aspects of the character models just need to be a little more polished, I guess I'll say. Now the Battle Pass, I usually wouldn't talk about the Battle Pass because I just think, you know, like a Battle Pass is a Battle Pass. There's like nothing special to a Battle Pass, really. But this one is a little bit different because this game doesn't give you access to all the Lancers in the beginning, which is like similar, you know, it's like a game like Valorant. And then you can play through the game to unlock the Lancers over time, which is a good feature because I would have hate to only have the option to just straight up buy the Lancers, or like, oh, hey, you can only have the default Lancers and you have to buy like the 5 or 6 other new ones, you know? And they also give you a freelancer for completing the tutorial, which is nice. But the reason that I want to talk about the Battle Pass really quickly for this game specifically is because there's this feature where you can either purchase the Battle Pass or the Premium Battle Pass, or you can subscribe to their service that they have. So this membership is like a way where you pay monthly. I'm not sure how much it is a month. I want to say it's probably like $10 a month or something like that. But you get access to the Battle Pass every month, or every new Battle Pass, I should say. I don't know how often they're going to refresh the Battle Pass. And it also gives you access to all the Lancers right away. And then you get like, I want to say like 10 draw tokens, so you can use that in the lottery to get like the big special item. And then it gives you gun customizations. And from my understanding, because it was kind of confusing when I was reading it, like to my understanding, like every month it's gonna be something new, like a new gun skin. And I'm sure when they release a new Lancer, you're gonna automatically have access to it. And also it's like they really have like a lot of ways to pay for the Lancers, and I'm not a huge fan of games that you're able to just buy the new characters, or just kind of like buy your way into, most of the time, the better characters. I would rather you not be able to pay for the Lancers and everyone has to put in the time to grind to unlock the characters. I think it would make the game fun, and it would also allow more people to kind of be on an even playing ground for like a longer amount of time. The grinders who do play the game all the time and unlock the Lancers at a faster rate than most other players, it's like they're usually gonna be in a higher level anyway. And I'm not blaming FragPunk for this, because obviously a shit ton of other games also do it this way. Valorant. But yeah, I mean this game feels very microtransaction heavy from what I can see. And I mean, they do a good job, man. Like, they do a good job at advertising this shit, bro. They know what these little kids want to see, man. They know what they want to see, and they're gonna show it to them. Now, the real meat and potatoes, the gameplay, right? What everyone cares about the most. FragPunk definitely feels like the long lost child. Like the sibling that you never knew that you had, and then all of a sudden, like, you show up and you're like, whoa, who the fuck is this guy? And why do you look like me? Now let's talk about the Lancers again. The Lancers are very unique. Not only their character design, like I said, but in their abilities. Now, the Lancers are unique, yes, but some of them feel a little more unique than other Lancers. Like, one of the dudes literally has a rocket launcher that you can pull out as soon as the round starts. Now, obviously the Lancers are very similar to like Overwatch / like Valorant characters, where all Lancers have 3 abilities and you can pretty much use all 3 abilities twice per round, and it auto refreshes every round. And from my knowledge, and please correct me or like let me know if I'm wrong, I don't really think there's like an economy system in this game, and everything just kind of refreshes next round. So it's like your abilities, you don't have to buy those, you just automatically get them. In guns, you don't even have to buy them, you just kind of automatically get them. So I don't really understand if it has like an economy system like CSGO or Valorant, but from what I've seen, like just from playing it, it doesn't really seem to have an economy system. Now, I've only played standard mode too, like I haven't played competitive, because you have to reach level 30 from the intro. You can tell that the game's gimmick mechanic, I'll call it, is called shard cards. Shard cards are cards that you can buy before the round starts to affect the round. Sometimes cards will help your team by, I don't know, loading all your bullets into one magazine or giving your team extra health. And then some cards hurt the enemy team by giving the enemy team big heads or making it so the enemy team can't heal at all. And these cards only last for 1 round, and you buy these cards with shard points. And you get points per round for each kill you get, surviving or dying a round, and winning or losing the round. And then you use those points to purchase the shard cards for that round. And no shard cards, at least to my knowledge, carry over from round to round. You're always buying new shard cards. And there's usually 3 options, and you can kind of like re-roll the options too. It kind of brings like a refreshing feeling to each round, because it's like each round is going to be significantly different. And a lot of the shard cards are very unique. Like I talked about a shard card for giving the enemy team bigger head hitboxes, and it actually like physically makes your head bigger in game, which I think is kind of funny, you know, and a nice feature. Most games you have to grind to reach a certain level before you can play competitive. Usually, like, I kind of get burnt out once I hit that like specific level and have played like 1 or 2 comp games. But I'm glad to say that like this game has kind of kept me hooked, even though I did have to hit level 30. And I really think the shard cards are like the main reason why I'm still kind of like interested in playing this game still and grinding it out a little bit more. The gunplay is very similar to R6 in the fact that you can ADS and you can move and shoot. I know there's like 2 or 3 extra game modes. I think one's called Outbreak, which is like a zombie game mode. And there's another like arcade game mode. But the main one is your typical search and destroy. You got your A site and your B site, and one team's trying to plant the bomb, the other team's trying to stop you from planting the bomb. And to add to the gambling aspect too, they added a slot machine that you can use in the beginning of each round. And I'm assuming everyone can hit the slot machine and it'll just spit out like a random gun. I think like the one and only like aspect of the gameplay that really stood out to me was the movement. And not just in terms of the shard cards, making the arena icy so you can slide. When you hold right click on your knife, you'll see a circle charge in the center of your screen. And when that circle is full and you release the right click, your character kind of does a lunge, which is very interesting because, you know, CSGO doesn't have that, Valorant doesn't have that. You can't hold down your right click to charge up something. And there's even a shard card where it can enhance the distance that you lunge with your knife. And I think those like additional movement options make the player feel like they can do more.
Yeah, no shit, dumbass.
Hello, it is Post-Production Doug here, and my dumbass forgot to mention probably the most unique part of this game, and that is when a game goes into overtime, it doesn't just go into extra rounds like Valorant or CS does. It will put you in 1v1s. So it'll be a 5-on-5, and you get to pick what order you want to be. So do you want to be the first person to 1v1, the second person to 1v1, the third, the fourth, or the fifth? The person who wins the 1v1 is then moved on to the next round. They keep their HP, so if the previous person dealt damage to them, then they'll keep that HP. But they could theoretically 1v5, but it's all 1v1s. And I think it's a very unique aspect to the game.
FragPunk overall, it is, like I said again, it's only 20 days old. So it's kind of hard to like fully judge the game and kind of like see where see which direction it'll head in. I really hope that this game does well because I find this game very enjoyable to play. I can't really justify playing it for more than like 3 hours a day. It's like, I know the shard cards add that like randomness aspect to it. Like at the end of the day, like it is just a hero shooter with an extra gimmick. I think the gunplay feels nice and the hit marker registration sounds nice, and the numbers too that fly off the person that you're shooting like looks cool, and like it's very colorful and vibrant. And from what I've been seeing, you know, from playing this game pretty much like every day, they really love to push the microtransactions on you. And my one like real hope for this game is I hope it doesn't turn into like a microtransaction hellscape where the gameplay kind of stays the same and they just keep shoving fucking bundles and skins and battle pass shit like down your throat. But I kind of feel like that's the trajectory that most new games go. Just because I feel like most games and most game companies try to make, you know, the most money they can off of people like us and they'll do it in any way possible. But I really hope FragPunk doesn't turn into that, and especially because this is, to my knowledge, from what I've seen, this is this company's very first game. And I would hate to see their reputation kind of be soiled right away because they're trying to shove all these microtransactions down your throat constantly. Overall though, obviously, I will say it again, this game is only 20 days old. I can see the vision of where this game wants to go, and I can kind of visualize like a competitive scene for this game. But you know, I have to compare this to other similar titles like CSGO, Rainbow Six, Overwatch, Valorant, and these games are well established by now. In that sense, I think FragPunk kind of fits in the middle. I do have faith in the company to, you know, keep the game updated, keep the game fresh, you know, keep adding new content. You know, it's very new, you know, it's like a little baby, you know, it's a little baby. And my one concern for this game, and my concern for most games, is I really hope that it does not turn into a microtransaction hellscape. I really am praying for that to not be the case. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You can follow me on twitch.tv/NuggyJ. I'll have a link in the description. I'm gonna start to stream every single day, mostly at nighttime, and probably like in the beginning for like only 3-4 hours or something like that. But it's gonna be every day. So be sure to tune in and check that out. Make sure to leave a like and comment, you know. I think it's nice to have like arguments and, you know, like disagreements and stuff like that. So do leave a comment if you want to. Other than that though, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys had a wonderful week.